Hello, wrestling fans, and welcome to episode 13 of the Wrestling Wrap Up. I am your host, the Megastar Austin Savage. This episode, I'm going to talk about Raw, Tough Enough, and a little bit more about WrestleZone.com. For anybody that watched episode 12, you'll know what I'm talking about. Raw, overall, believe it or not, I thought it was a good show. And, I talk a lot of shit about the WWE. But I was sitting there watching the show tonight, and it's all about entertainment. And I've been really hard on the WWE, and, probably during the course of this video, I'm going to be even more hard on the WWE. But I thought Raw was a really good show this week. It was good action. I mean, from the beginning to the end. Well, except for that promo, which I thought was way too long. I mean, it was good, but it was just way too long. And you could tell it was scripted, and it wasn't what these guys would really say, especially Truth. Swagger versus Kingston was a good match, great solid action, and pardon me fans, I'm not going to go in order. I just took some real quick notes because I realized over the last couple of weeks I've been taking too many notes. Arai versus Cena was a fucking joke. I mean, why waste airtime on something stupid like that? I'm really loving the new Truth. I think his heel turn is going well. I can see him getting bumped up into that main event temporarily. I'm really getting behind the new and improved Dolph Ziggler, too. I like the new look. I like the more serious, vicious attitude out of him. And goddamn, didn't Karma look impressive. But my only question is, when is she going to work an actual match? All in all, I mean, I knew The Miz was going to win that match because, I mean, he's got to get at least one more shot at John Cena. Speaking of John Cena, I think having him remain champion for an entire year leading into WrestleMania against The Rock is a mistake. And I don't think that match should be for the WWE title because I don't think The Rock's going to win. What's the point? Then again, it'll be a very entertaining match with or without the title, in my opinion. Moving on to Tough Enough. This week's lesson was about focus. And, I've talked a lot about my wrestling career on the show. And focus this week really hit home for me because there was a dark time in my life that affected my career and almost made me quit. Almost. I pulled myself in. I got refocused. I lost my focus for one show. And watching the tape back of that show, I knew the last place I needed to be was in a wrestling ring. But I learned from it, and I stayed focused, and I wrestled for, I think 5 more years after that. And I mean, Evie, she's doing alright for herself at this point. But in wrestling, you work hurt, and you don't let people know that you're hurt. She almost quit during the training session. And, I was impressed with her performance on the rope course. I think Jomo or John Morrison helping her out was big for her. And you know what? Speaking of the rope course, Eric just gave up. The skills challenge this week was interesting. They paired off in groups of 4 and did squats on the turnbuckles. Well, if you fell off, you were done. Group 1 was Evie, Jeremiah, Martin, and Andy. And in order, Andy, Martin, Jeremiah, and Evie. Evie and Jeremiah moved on to the next round because they were the last 2 standing. Group 2 was in order: AJ, Eric, Luke, and Christine. So Luke and Christine moved on. So in the final pairing, you had Luke and Jeremiah, Christine and Evie on the turnbuckles, while Andy and AJ, I believe it was AJ, it was either AJ or Eric, ran the ropes. The skills challenge final was Jeremiah and Luke, which I was shocked. Jeremiah did okay, but he looked dangerous, like he was getting sloppy. Luke looked great and really focused, and it looked to me like he really learned from being in the bottom three last week that he needed to step up his game, and he really did this week. Luke was top dog this week, which didn't surprise me because, I mean, he blew it out of the water. Finally got his attitude in check and really put it to the rest of the competition. The bottom three of this week were Eric, Evie, and AJ, which none of them surprised me. Evie was eliminated due to her injury. It was a smart decision by the judges. I would have liked to see her try to stick it out because, I mean, that's what this business is all about, is working hurt. And then Stone Cold says, okay, surprise, we're having a second elimination, and to nobody's surprise, Eric got sent home. Eric just doesn't have the cardio for the wrestling business, not yet anyways. He's got some skills, he shows hints of superstardom, but he needs more. Now, moving on to WrestleZone.com, and for anybody that watched episode 12, you know I've got heat with them, or they've got heat with me actually. Case in point, I mean, WrestleZone.com poll question. Who do you think should have won the world title on SmackDown? For anybody that goes to WrestleZone.com, you know where I'm going with this. With 78.85% of the vote, fans feel that Christian should have been the world champion on SmackDown, leaving 21.15% for Randy Orton. Hey Vince, woo, you paying attention? That's more than 3/4 of the fans who wanted Christian as champion. Proof that you don't listen to your fans. Proof that apparently WrestleZone doesn't pay attention to their own fucking polls. Because you're all taking WWE's side on this. You're all fanboys. You're all internet guys. I went to WrestleZone.com to get some more material to, check some stuff out. And by the way, thank you, WrestleZone, for your input in my show. I appreciate it. All credit to WrestleZone.com. The forums are full of internet guys or smart marks, whatever you want to call them. Some of the things they post threads about really makes me scratch my head. One thread over the weekend: how would you book WrestleMania 23? I read that. I didn't read any of the posts, but I read that forum title. And my first thought was, what the fuck? Why the fuck are we talking about a pay-per-view that happened 4 years ago? How would you book it? Would you book this? Would you book that differently? It's in the books. Why do you fanboys and you internet guys, and I'm one of them. I don't post on the forums, but I have no problem admitting that I'm an internet guy, that I'm a fanboy. Why do you guys want to sit there behind your keyboards and talk about a pay-per-view that happened 4 years ago? Let's talk about the last pay-per-view. Or how would you book that differently? How would you have booked Raw differently? I've been a booker, okay? It's not fun. It's not easy. And I'm going to tell you something about booking. Anybody that thinks they can do it, I dare you to try it. Book a match. Okay? Just book one match. Get two guys in your front yard, book a match, and see how people like it. Invite people to watch it, okay? Because it's not fucking easy. And by easy, I mean different fans in different cities like different things. I mean, you can't book too many... I mean, you can't book anything in Philadelphia without people thinking, oh, it's ECW. It's not like ECW. You can't do it. Philadelphia is ECW, and it will be for a long time to come, I'm sure. I mean, perfect example, hometown guys work and usually get over with their fans. Two perfect examples. Recently, when Raw was in Chicago, the crowd was very pro CM Punk, very anti Cena. When they were in Boston, the crowd was actually... No, I can't say they were pro Cena because half of them hated Cena, half of them liked Cena. Now I'd like to send a personal message to Justin Labar and Josh Isenburg of the Chairshot Reality, which is on WrestleZone.com. Let me ask you guys a question. Where would WrestleZone.com be without internet guys? Without the marks to look at their website? They wouldn't be around. I repeat, I dare either one of you to watch these videos, send me an email, or comment on one of the videos. I guarantee you, neither one of you internet fanboys will, because you don't want to get heat from your bosses at WrestleZone.com. See, I don't answer to WrestleZone.com. I answer to me. And I know all of you fans out there that watch my show are going to say that I'm calling Labar and Isenburg internet guys and fanboys, and that I'm both of those things. The difference between me, Isenburg, and Labar, I admit it. I'm an internet guy. I go to WrestleZone.com and get stories for this show. I follow WrestleZone.com. I follow wrestlers on Twitter. I have wrestlers on my Facebook page friends list. I'm a fanboy. I like to interact with them, okay? I'm okay with admitting that. And you two, especially, don't feel like you are internet guys or fanboys because you work for a wrestling website. And that's just wrong, okay? You've never been in the wrestling business. You don't understand it. I've been a wrestler since I was knee-high to a grasshopper. You guys just don't get it. We're all fanboys. We're all internet guys. And yeah, some wrestlers made their fame on the internet. Bryan Danielson did not make his fame on the internet. Bryan Danielson, or Daniel Bryan, made his fame in ROH. He's a former world champion. And for Michael Cole to sit there every week and call him an internet darling or an internet superstar is just plain bullshit. Christian is not an internet guy. He's not an internet superstar. Christian is a multiple-time champion in different categories. I mean, believe he was the first person to ever hold 5 different championships in WWE history. So he's not an internet guy. He was made famous by the WWE. So that's just an ignorant statement. This is the Wrestling Wrap-Up. I am your host, the Megastar Austin Savage. Email the show, WrestlingWrapUp@yahoo.com. Follow me on Twitter, @ProudToBeStraightEdge. Comment on the video. For all the people that watch this show and like it, thank you very much. Keep sending the emails. I'll get to your questions as soon as I can. For the people that don't like the show, don't watch it. It's that simple. I'll catch you guys next week after Impact.